Welcome to the conclusion of another highly questionable week. Do you like anything on the show today, Bomani?
The worst quarterback matchup in the history of the NFL playoffs? That doesn't intrigue you?
Not really. Dale, papi.
Does Kyle Korver make the Cavs the clear-cut favorites?
Brian Windhorst is reporting that they're close to acquiring Korver for Mo Williams, Dunleavy, and a pick. And what he makes the Cavs is better. He does all the things that J.R. Smith does better. He's going to be open a lot, get a lot of open looks, and he's really good when he gets those open looks. But I remind you that these two teams, Golden State and Cleveland, were this close at the end, Game 7 of the Finals. One of them is about to add Kyle Korver. The other added Kevin Durant.
Now, here's the thing, though. Kyle Korver is a good enough team defender, and that's important to note. He's not great, but he is a good enough team defender, and I think that's the question a lot of people have. He's a 6'8" two guard who might be the best shooter in the league. He's a better shooter than J.R. Smith. This definitely helps them. What's fascinating is the Cavs understand this is not about winning the East or anything else. Everything they do is probably geared toward how do we match up against the Warriors. And what do you have? Your 6'8" two guard when the Warriors have a 6'7" one. It helps in that place, too.
Huh? LeBron, he keep adding a superstar to his team, man. He just can't get it done on his own, you know. what a fake he is, you know.
Right.
Superstar Kyle Korver. By the way, did you know that this is Mike Dunleavy's 15th year in the NBA?
Should an NFL team risk a first-round pick on Joe Mixon?
All right, Joe Mixon has declared for the NFL draft. The quick answer to that is no, because I'm not sure that Joe Mixon is that good compared to the rest of the running backs to be a first-round pick. The real question is, when should you start thinking about taking Joe Mixon given that video that we saw? Now, if what your concern is about public relations, you might be one of those teams that says, no, we're not taking him regardless. The question a team has to ask about him as a football player, do you think he is going to be a recidivist? If you don't think he is going to be a recidivist, he's a potential Pro Bowl running back. Someone will take him in the first 3 rounds.
But he's not as good as Dalvin Cook. He's not as good as Leonard Fournette. He may be as good as McCaffrey. There are running backs in this draft better. And all things being equal, this is the kind of thing that will knock you out of the first round. And what will end up happening is when he becomes a value, that's when someone will be willing to take the risk. They won't be willing to take that risk until it's a value.
Yeah, I tell you this, though. If you think that no one's going to take Joe Mixon, and a lot of people seem to think that, someone took Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill got busted for beating his pregnant girlfriend. Do you know how glad the Chiefs are right now that they took Tyreek Hill? Somebody's going to take Joe Mixon.
I think I'm going to sit this one out.
Okay, good idea. Next question.
I honestly didn't know we had that option. Like, if you guys would have let me know that, I'd have started
I would
heading
have
to the
liked
car.
that option too.
Who do you have more confidence in on Saturday, Brock Osweiler or Connor Cook?
I mean, come on, really? ESPN paid $100 million reportedly for this game, and I don't have confidence in either one of these guys. Brock Osweiler is rated statistically by far the worst quarterback in these playoffs, but you've got Connor Cook, and I don't know what he is, but I have more confidence in the guy I have not seen do anything than the guy I have seen do what Brock Osweiler has done.
Now, let's take this in another direction, right? Because the Texans decided, forget about the contract. Tom Savage is going to be the starter, but now he's in concussion protocol. Do you know who the Texans' backup quarterback is? It's Brandon Weeden. And look, I know Brandon Weeden, not good, but I feel like Brandon Weeden was better the last time I saw him than Brock Osweiler. Would the Texans be better off playing the Weed Man? Weed Man. Weed Man. Hold on, don't say it. No, hold on, don't say that too loud. The Weed Man don't like it when you talk about him in front of people.
$100 million ESPN pay for this game?
Yeah,
They make good decisions. I'm telling you. I think that Brock Osweiler is going to have the game of his life.
Okay.
He's not going to disappoint Skipper on ESPN. He's going to get all the ratings up there. You watch now.
He got the president of the company's name right with Skipper. Brooke, he had a little bit of trouble with.
Can the Lions win their first playoff game in 25 seasons tomorrow?
The Lions are frauds. They've won a bunch of close games, and every time they've played a playoff team this season, 5 times they've lost, and they've lost big. If they're going to win the game, the only way they can win the game is that the Seahawks' pass defense has been 30th in the league since Earl Thomas went out. It's the one way to win. I don't think they're going to find that as the way to win.
But the question with Seattle generally is going to be, can they score points? The offensive line is not good. good. The offense generally not consistent. We've seen them put up 5 points in games, 3 points, 9 points, 10 points. That's what their offense has been. The Lions have a chance, given that Seattle pass defense is weak, except their quarterback got a busted-up throwing hand, which is not the best way to exploit a bad pass defense.
Why should anyone listen to you about the Lions, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember when you said they were going to make the playoff
Yeah.
and they finished on 16?
Yeah, I do remember that. Nobody lets me forget that. Orlovsky ran out of the back of the end zone that season. I was talking about how amazing Roy Williams is. 0-16.
Coming up next on my Son Stevie show, we talk to Gucci Mane.
Good to see you too, man. Big fan.
Thank you.
How come everybody's a fan of his? Ain't
These
nobody
guys
a fan
are
of
good
mine.
too. These guys are good
okay.
too. They
We're
push me every day to the finish line.
Y'all know Poppy make that show, man.
My Son Stevie show is brought to you by USAA, insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. Joining us at the beach today is Gucci Mane.
Hey, his new album, The Return of East Atlanta Santa, is out now. Let's talk to Gucci.
Were you ready for success at all? Did you enjoy success, given that you were, battling some demons? Did you enjoy success when you arrived at it?
Soon as I had my first CD, I had a murder charge the same week. So I can't say that I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? The whole time it was like, it was always tense. I'm enjoying it now. But back then, my whole 10 years in the music game from 2015 all the way to maybe 2012 was just filled with like violence and paranoia and drugs. And so I can't say, it was just like a blur.
Can you describe the paranoia to us? What was happening there? Like, that sounds pretty miserable.
It is miserable when you've been doing wrong so long and you done did wrong by other people. You never know when it's gonna come back on you. You know what I'm saying? So I had hurt so many people, so many people had hurt me. I never knew when it was gonna come, and it's like I was always preparing for the day that bullets start ringing out.
It's kind of surprising, though, to hear you say you're paranoid, because you seem like the type that really isn't scared of very much.
I'm not scared. I don't fear anything. I said paranoia is just like, I guess like a war veteran. I had post-traumatic stress. You know what I'm saying? Once somebody lost their life and trying to rob you, it's kind of like it never goes away. So in my mind, somebody was going to try it again, and I was just not scared. I was just always super tense and always prepared for it.
Wow, so you spent a decade at the height of musical success. You spent a decade basically worried that somebody was going to kill you.
Not basically, I felt like I was going to kill somebody for trying to kill me.
I do think it's interesting you sounded more afraid. You said you were more afraid of killing somebody than being killed yourself.
I was never afraid. I just kind of, in my mind, I felt like somebody was going to try to hurt me or try to rob me or do something. They was going to force my hand to defend myself and hurt them. So I never felt like I was going to die, but I felt like that it was inevitable that I was going to hurt somebody and I was going to end up going to prison or something like that because I wasn't going to let anybody harm me.
You've talked very publicly. You don't mind doing this now, even though you've had some time where you were reclusive. You've talked about mental illness, and you don't mind talking about substance abuse. Is there any healing in talking about it for you?
It's kind of like, I guess when I was in prison, I had time to sit back and just evaluate everything and think about it and dry out also from the drugs. So it's like it's done. You know what I'm saying? I'm over it. I got past it. So to me, it's just like, telling it it's in the past. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing that I'm dealing with now. So it's just like I'm talking about my past life, and I feel like, I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud that I'm still here. I'm proud that I got past all of it.
How would you describe drying out? How terrible was that?
Drying out from drinking lean, I don't know, I guess probably the worst feeling in the world. It tear your body down, it tear your mind down. You've been doing something for so long, it's kind of like food. You know what I'm saying? It's like starving. You know what I'm saying? It's indescribable. It's just terrible, terrible pain.
So you were physically sick, right? Like you were sick all the time.
Yep, physically sick, man. I was so bloated and overweight. I was almost 290 pounds. So when I got in there, I just started working out, drinking water, reading, and planning and plotting on what I was going to do when I got out. And it just kept me hopeful. You know what I'm saying? And it just, it made the time. I tried to make the time work for me the best I could.
What was the most extreme you were using? At the time you were using more than you should have been. What would you say that looked like? Like how much lean were you drinking? What were you doing?
I drank lean every day, smoked blunts every day. So how did it look like? I guess for maybe 6, 7 years straight. That's just, that was my daily thing. It was my normal routine. So I can't say how much. It was just nonstop. I guess smoking and drinking until I fell asleep from when I wake up. That was my life.
And so did you realize that you had a problem, or did jail point that out to you where you realized you had a dependency?
Once I was in that prison, I can look back at it and see it, but during those years, it was kind of like, I can't say I thought I had a problem. Well, I just didn't think that I could stop it. It just, it's hard for me to explain it, but it's just like my daily routine for so long that I knew people drunk lean and smoked blunts and did drugs and stopped, but I didn't think that I could stop. I never even envisioned me never not doing it. So when I sat down, it gave me time to say, oh, listen, maybe it's a life where I don't have to do this every day. And then I started building upon that, but I never even thought that I could live without it.
Are you surprised that it didn't kill you?
Yes, 100%. I'm blessed, man. To even be here today, I'm blessed.
Did you have a moment of any sort in jail where you're like, the lights came on? Did you have a moment of epiphany? Did you learn about mental illness in jail?
I wouldn't say I had just one day had no epiphany, but I guess, when I was facing 20 and 30 years and it was almost on the table, and it kind of got worked out where I can only do like 3 years and I can manage it. I feel like I can get out, I can still manage having a career and, and not losing my whole life to being gone 15, 20 years. They kind of got me into like, let me try to fix it. Let me try to fix my life because now it's something that I can manage. So I guess not getting to 20 years and getting 3 years, maybe that was my epiphany of some sort.
Is there anything you read or anything anyone told you where you were like, okay, that makes sense from a mental illness standpoint. That speaks to me?
I read a book by, I think, a dude named James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. And I remember just like, control your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So, and what you think about all the time. And I started thinking about what could I do to ensure that I don't come back in this prison, because I didn't want to live the rest of my life in prison. And I was in there with people who have life sentences. So I was like, one thing that I need to do is I need to be totally sober. I need to have complete clarity. I need to be razor sharp focused on everything I do every day from when I wake up to when I go to sleep. And I started thinking about that. And after you start doing that for like a year, then it turned to 2 years, then you're like, I can get out and I can do it. And once I got out and started doing it, it's like, it makes me a better person, make me a better artist. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me all the way stronger.
Gucci, appreciate the honesty. Super refreshing. Let's change camera angles here so that we can get my father involved. This is the part you've been waiting for anyways. You've been tolerating the rest of this so you can get
Poppy,
to this.
what's happening?
What's happening, Gucci, buddy? Nice meeting
It's
you.
coolin'. Good to see you too, man. Big fan.
Thank you.
How come everybody's a fan of his? Ain't
These
nobody
guys
a fan
are
of
good
mine?
too.
No,
These
no,
guys
we're
are good
okay.
too. They
We're
push me every day to the finish line.
Y'all know Poppy make that show, man.
Yeah, we know. Go ahead, Poppy. What do you have for Gucci? Go ahead.
Hey, Gucci, what did you get the Bart Simpson chain? How expensive was it?
Yeah, why did you
The
get a
Bart Simpson chain was like $75K, just for the
Yeah.
charm.
Yeah,
Just for the charm?
why'd you get that?
Yeah.
What's the meaning?
But what's the meaning? What did you get it?
I just like the colors, man. I just like the shine. It wasn't even in no meaning, man. I just like the stunt.
Yeah, you're speaking his language. Gucci, thank you for being on with us. We
Gracias,
appreciate it.
Appreciate
sir.
y'all.
Gracias. Man, you's a window shopper. Mad at me. I think I know why. Man, you's a window shopper in the jewelry store looking at you can buy. Man, you's a window shopper in the dealership trying to get a test drive. Man, you's a window shopper. Massa, when you see me right, questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that smells like butter and tequila. Do you question?
You should be answering that. You give us topics and events, and we question them.
Do you question if he should have gotten another free throw?
All right, we are going out to Raptors Jazz. We got Derek Favors on the free throw line. Your man Lucas on the block right there.
Try to get the victories that they're going to start winning.
What's he doing?
Who's going to sacrifice what?
Oh,
It's not all going to be
He's-
fun for.
The Steve Lyons. He just did the Steve Lyons.
yeah, he did. He pulled down. I mean, but he had them leggings on, so I suppose it wasn't indecent per se.
That allowed? Are you allowed to distract someone that way?
Well, I mean, it's not his fault if you get distracted.
Well, let's see if you find this distracting.
Oh,
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I can't.
man.
Yeah.
For the love of God. Next question, please. Come on. Next question. No. What is this? Come on.
How many times I got to tell you this old man keep taking his clothes off?
Do you question if this guy was well positioned?
We are going out to cricket. We are covering cricket like no one else at this network covers cricket. What do we have? Oh! That seems horrifying.
Ooh, did he read the scout report too close or not close enough?
What was that sound that was made?
Take a short
That
break.
sound I hear is your father laughing at this, which explains so much to me about how you were raised.
Oh.
Wow. This is also a moment where I'm realizing I just don't know very much about cricket because I just can't see how that would ever be strategically. Why would you do that?
I don't know why that person is there. We are not cricket experts. We just played that video. Well, you know why we just played that video. There was only one reason why we played that video. We don't know anything about cricket.
Well, if somebody were to tell me to play that position, I would say, no thanks, I'm good.
Yeah. Like in Little League, everybody wants to play the infield because they put the sorry kids in the outfield. I'd be pretending I didn't know what I was doing to get playing the
I want
outfield.
to play the outfield in cricket.
Do you question if the Hornets deserve a win for this?
All right, it's Hornets Pistons. Marco Bellinelli still in the league and inbounding the ball here.
He's a Hornet.
Yeah, I guess so.
Pistons won this game.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Oh, that was so close and so smart and so great.
Well, what I love is Spencer Hawes is instantly frustrated when he sees it because he knows it's no good. The other guys are trying to run the con, and Frank Kaminsky looked like Manu Ginobili's nephew. I didn't realize that until today.
Oh, wow. That needs to count just so that we could talk to Stan Van Gundy afterward and hear what he'd have to say about losing that way.
I imagine Stan experienced all the pain of the loss just from the thought of the possibility, so the right question could have gotten that for you last night, too.
Well, I'm not really impressed by that play. They could have done something like this.
He wasn't handling here. He was just going to the rim.
Hey, that's superstar Gordon Hayward. That was impressive.
That was more impressive. My father's right.
If you want to define, can we see this again, please?
That is amazing quickness. I mean, you can make the argument that that is the best shot clock beater in the history of the sport. You really could.
Time to play the game that forgot to take his birth control last night. See? Or no?
His birth control. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued or not.
Sunday in the NFL, Dolphins, Steelers, and Giants, Packers.
Sure, this will be fun to watch. And we have some video here of Eli Manning talking about the Giants after their last win against Washington. They all came down to Miami and got on a boat. Here's Eli Manning. He wasn't on that boat talking about being on that boat.
We kind of always pride ourselves on being well prepared. So when I saw some of the pictures, I was a little disappointed just because obviously they didn't pack accordingly. They didn't have any shirts, obviously, and kind of all long pants, no shorts. I was telling people I was the one that took the picture. They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me in with my shirt off, so they made me take it.
We had a party here, the radio station at the Versace Mansion down this street, and he showed up at like 9 o'clock, and everybody laughed at him because it was way too early. And his head sort of hung, and he did the Eli Manning face. But, Monty, are you intrigued?
There is something interesting about the fact, though, that Eli Manning can get up and joke about that, and everybody that was on the boat had to act like it was dead damn serious.
Serious, very serious. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, there is something very interesting in that Dolphin-Pittsburgh matchup. There are going to be two Latino players going at each other. It's going to be Alejandro Villanueva on the Pittsburgh against Kiko Alonso. First time in the history of the NFL, you got two Latino players, mano a mano.
He thinks there are like 3 Latin players in the history of the league.
Who is Alejandro Villanueva?
He's an offensive
Villanueva.
lineman.
Oh, man.
okay.
That guy is a beast, you know.
The dude that was in the military.
All
That's
right.
right. That guy he was in the special forces and all that. You know, the man is a bad dude. But Kiko, I'm telling you, Alejandro is going to have his hand full with Kiko.
My father knows the entire history of every Latin player in the league.
But somehow thinks this is the first time there's been two of them at Walt.
A new series on the Food Network, Ginormous Food.
I mean, come on. Really? I don't need it. There's a clip? Okay, that's fine, but go ahead.
I'm a hungry man. That's what
It's a table tipping, jaw unhinging, supersized food phenomenon.
Speaking my language.
New series, Ginormous Food.
I mean, you didn't need to show me all of that. The title speaks for itself. I'm in. Bomani, are you intrigued? Yeah. Papi, what about you? You must be intrigued by that.
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, I'm telling you something. I always wanted to be in the Bachelor show, you know, but after watching this show, I prefer this show. This is the show I want to be in. You know, when you get a chance, you give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to participate in that show as the #1 star.
I mean, once you get to his age, you're much, much more interested in that than anything that's happening on The Bachelor.
I don't know. They got pills these days.
I have tried them all, believe me.
Okay, all the pills.
And I'd rather be on that show.
God, I was hoping he was talking about the cupcakes.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Talk to you on Monday. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you el lunes.
Where did the banana go? You know, I had it in my hands about a second ago. Where did it go? I can't see it anymore. It's a real magician. Vegas, next stop.